Hello everybody, this is Shankar from System-Based Labs. In the last video, we saw edge cases where systems fail in rare but critical situations. Now let's look at something even more dangerous. Not a system failure, a human behavior. Automation bias. Introduce AI into a process. At first, your team is vigilant. They verify every output. They question every outlier. They double check the math. But humans are evolved to be cognitive missers. We naturally look for shortcuts. We naturally look for heuristic shortcuts to conserve our limited mental energy. It's an efficiency trait that backfires in high-stakes automation. Over time, we stop being active participants and slowly drift into becoming passive observers. We begin to treat the system not as a fallible tool, but as an infallible authority. That is automation bias. This psychological trap creates two distinct types of errors that can derail any project. First, errors of commission. This is when you follow an incorrect computer suggestion, even when your own eyes or sensors tell you otherwise. You override your expertise. Second, errors of omission. This is when you fail to act because the system didn't flag a problem. You assume that if the screen is green, everything is fine. That's the danger. We start trusting the consistent, confident, and cold output of the machine. We trust the machine more than our own intuition. It happens to the best of us. Let's look at a chilling example from aviation history. In 1972, Eastern Airlines Flight 401, the crew was on approach when they noticed a single burned out light bulb on the indicator. While the entire crew fixated on that one bulb, the captain accidentally bumped the control yoke. This disengaged the autopilot's altitude hold. They were so conditioned to trust the perfect automation, they didn't realize they were losing altitude. They ignored the warnings and the chimes. They assumed the machine was handling the flight until they crashed into the Everglades. They assumed the machine was in charge, even as it failed them. The same pattern appears in healthcare. A 2023 study found a dangerous trend. When AI suggested the wrong category for a mammogram, experienced radiologists' accuracy dropped. Their accuracy dropped from 82% to 45%. For less experienced doctors, it was just 20%. These experts overrode their own correct findings because the algorithm was supposedly smarter. This rubber stamping of AI output turns a life-saving tool into a source of error. It's not just about the code, it's about how we interact with that code. In critical care, we cannot afford to be passive observers of our own tools. In the world of self-driving cars, we face what we call the safety paradox. The more reliable a self-driving system is, the less the human driver monitors. In the 2018 Uber crash in Tempe, Arizona, the safety driver was distracted by her phone. She had developed such high trust that she assumed the car would see everything. But the software was tuned to ignore false positives, and it misclassified a pedestrian. By the time the system alerted her, it was too late. Success created the complacency. Success created the very complacency that made intervention impossible. Think about that. Automation bias doesn't grow out of system failure, it grows out of system success. Because the model works 99% of the time, our brains shut off monitoring for the 1% error. We also see a diffusion of responsibility. We feel that if the machine is in charge, then any mistake is a software bug, not a personal failure. We lose the sense of agency. But in any critical pipeline, the human must always remain the final line of defense. Be it finance, health, or safety. You are the defense against the silent degradation. Don't let your tools turn you into a passive bystander in your own profession. Now, connect this to our previous lessons. Think about hallucinations, confident but wrong. Think about model drift, the silent decline. And think about edge cases, the rare scenarios. From a tester's lens, never assume your users will catch the model's mistakes. From a business analyst's lens, ask if you are truly increasing efficiency or just removing judgment. From a validation lens, you must validate the human-system interaction, not just the code. The model is only half of the story. The interaction is where the risk truly lives. When you add automation bias to these risks, you get unchallenged error. That's the real threat. Automation bias is the death of critical thinking. Don't let it happen. The most dangerous failures in AI are the ones that no one bothered to question. This is video 13 of 20 in our AI/ML micro series. We are moving forward. Designed for the testers, the analysts, and the domain experts who want clarity, not hype. In the next video, video 14, we explore a fundamental structural limitation, the black box problem. Why models are so hard to explain, and what we lose when we can't understand the decisions. We'll dive deep into transparency and why it's the next big hurdle in validation. If you trust blindly, you stop thinking. This is Shankar from System Based Labs. Good luck and goodbye.